Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now look what I've made. I want to show you how to do this a beautiful blanket. Now I did this with donated yarn that I got from one of my subscribers. This is James C. Brett Baby Pink, and look at this. Look at this. This is called, it's not very apt for this time in the year and whatever with everything. This is a virus blanket. I know it's not a very apt name for it at the moment, but some people call this German shells and some people call it giant fans. It's also most commonly known as a virus blanket. It grows and grows and grows and grows with each round. It starts off round and you turn it into a square. You start with your 4 fans, or yeah, we'll just call them your fans. Your next round, you put a fan in between these two. The next round, there's 2 fans in between your corners. Now, where there's 2 holes here, these are the corners. These ones here, they span right out. Now, I'm going to turn it this way. It's absolutely beautiful. Look at this. It's beautiful. It's stunning. And it's such a beautiful shade of pink. Look at that pink. And this is the way it grows. I'll turn it like that. In between where your corners are, I can't even get it all into my screen. The arches of the fan get more and more between the corners, and this is how it looks. It's absolutely stunning. Now don't think for a minute it's going to take you a long time. It's not. It's actually quite quick. I did this in just over 2.5 sort of days. The repeat in this is 4 rows. I'll zoom down a little bit. Now you can see it a little better. Now the repeat in the fan is 4 rows. There's 1 row of chains. You can't see them because they're in here. You've got 1 row of treble crochets. Then you do treble crochets on the top, and your last round is a treble crochet, chain 1, a treble crochet, chain 1, all along the top. Now you finish the blanket on the treble crochet, chain 1. That's a UK treble crochet. If you're in the USA, these are double crochets. Now a lot of people say to me that's the wrong terminology. In America and that side of the world, they use a different terminology for the stitches that they do in Europe. Now in the UK, this is a treble crochet. In the USA, it's called a double crochet. It's the same stitch, but it's just got a different terminology for it. And look at this. It is beautiful. It's absolute. Look at the colour of that pink. It's absolutely amazing. Now you can do this in variegated yarn. You can do it in just a 1 colour yarn. You can do each round a different colour if you want. And look at it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's stunning. I love it. And I don't know why I've never made more of these. I've done 2 before, but I just never thought of filming it. Now the thing is with it, the video will be quite long. The video will be quite long, so get your hook, get your yarn. If you don't have yarn, go get yarn, get your hook, and sit down and watch the video and crochet along. You'll be able to crochet along with the video, and you will be able to, let me get the middle of this, you'll be able to go from, the video is this one, this round, and this round. So you'll be able to get up to there with this video by working along with it. What you'll do is you'll continue the 4 rows that are here. The 4 rows that make up these large fans, you just repeat. So it's these 4 rows, you repeat it, you repeat it, you repeat it, you repeat it all the way along until you have this. It's absolutely amazing. Now I'm going to fold it back up again a little bit. You can see how pink that is. Look how pink it is. It's beautiful. And it's a James C. Brett pink, this. Look at that. It's wonderful. You can make it with any yarn. If you said, can I make it with this yarn? Can I make it with that yarn, Alison? Yes, you can. So let's go on with this. I will also do a left-handed version for the people who are left-handed crocheters. I'll do that as well. I'll upload that in a day or two. So we'll get on with this. Get yourself a cup of tea, a little biscuit if you want it, and your hook and your yarn, and let's make a virus blanket. So to start off this type of blanket, I'm going to show you how to do this inner circle first. So we need to do this inner circle, and then we'll start doing our big fans all around the edge. So for this, I'm going to use, oh, look at this, it's pretty. I'm going to use this. This is ice yarns, and I got this donated to me. I got this from a lovely lady called Claire, and she donated me 2 of these, pink and grey. Beautiful. I love pink and grey. And she donated me 2 blue. They were variegated blue as well. Now, I have never used ice yarn, and I'm going to do it for my sample for this. You can use any yarn that you want to do this type of virus blanket. It's like, some people call this German shells. Sometimes it's called German shells. I just think it's just a beautiful big fan. It's like a rainbow, isn't it? And it would be really pretty done in a variegated yarn like this that was all rainbow colours. It would be absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to show you how to do this square here first. I'm going to find, I've already pulled out the middle of my yarn because I like to use the middle of the yarn. I'm using a 4.5mm hook. Now you may notice it's got some teeth marks on it. Muttley was running around with it, and I haven't ordered any new ones yet. I can't do that until the end of the month. Anyway, that's the way my budget is going. So I'm going to use this ice yarn. It doesn't have, and it's called Magic Light. So I take it that's the colour of it, and it doesn't say anything else. It's made in Turkey. This is 100 grams, and it's 360 meters. It doesn't tell you in yards what it is. It says it's a worsted weight. It's a 3, if that is interest to anyone. But in the UK, this is like a double knitting yarn. It's really pretty. So I'm going to put that to the side, and hopefully it's, oh, there we go. It's going to go from grey to pink, this. So you should still be able to see it quite well. The first thing you're going to do is what's called a magic ring. Now, so I'm going to take the tail end down my hand and just cross over the yarn. Put your hook under the tail end and just grab this one through. Take your tail end and pull it. It's just like a big slip knot, really. I'm going to take my working yarn and tighten it up. And that's me got a ring that I can work into, and then I can pull the tail and tighten it. So we're going to chain 3. 1, 2 and 3. So get yourself comfortable. Hold your hook in a way that's comfortable for you. Hold your yarn in a way it's comfortable. I hold my yarn just under and through my fingers like this. You do it the way that's comfortable for you. What we're going to do is this chain of 3 counts as your first treble crochet. So we're going to be doing a UK treble crochet. If you're in the USA or another country, this is a double crochet. So we're going to put 19 treble crochets into your magic ring. Now you can do a chain if you want and then join it into a circle, but I think this just tightens it up so much better in the middle. So yarn over and into your ring. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So that's has got 2 because that chain counts as 1 and that is 2. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we need 20 all together. So I'll get that done. You do yours and I'll come back and show you what to do next. So I've done my 20 treble crochets into my ring. Now into the top of that chain of 3 that we did, I'm going to slip stitch and join the round and just close the round. Make sure I'm going to get 2 parts of that stitch. So just slip stitch through, yarn over. Oh, didn't quite catch that. Pull your yarn through and pull through that stitch. Now you're going to get your tail and you're going to pull that and close it tight. You can stitch it in later on, and that gives you your center, and when you pull that in and stitch it, that hole almost disappears. So the next round is we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and that counts as your first treble crochet. If you're in the USA, this counts as a double crochet. We're going to put 2 treble crochets into each of these stitches all the way around, and we should have 40 stitches. So we've got 20 just now and we should have 40 by the time we're finished. This counts as your first treble crochet. So right into the bottom of that one, we're going to put another treble crochet. Then into the next stitch, you're going to put 2. Into the next one, you're going to put 2 all the way around, and you should have 40 treble crochets in your circle. And I'm getting my little colour change here. Make sure you put 2 into each stitch. So I'm going to count my stitches just to make sure I've got 40. $38. So I've got my one last stitch in here. 39 and 40. So I'm just going to slip stitch through that one, pull my yarn through and slip stitch through that one. Now don't worry about it going like this. It will flatten down. Once you start your crochet, it will flatten And the weight of your blanket will help to straighten it all, so don't worry about it. I'm really liking this very subtle colour change from grey through to the pink, because it's getting pinker and pinker as as I crochet. A lot of the yarn, it goes to grey and it goes straight to pink, and it's a very sharp change in colour, but this is a very delicate change in the colour, and I really like it. So this is what we have now, and what we're going to do now is we're going to chain 4. Now your chain of 4 this time counts as your first treble crochet plus 1 chain space. So 1, 2, 3, that counts as your first treble crochet, and chain 1, so that makes 4 altogether. So into the next stitch we're going to do a treble crochet, chain 1, a treble crochet, chain 1 all around your circle. Now, like I said, don't worry about it going like that, don't worry at all. So if you're in the USA, this is a double crochet, then chain 1 and a treble crochet into the next stitch, chain 1 and treble crochet all the way around. Now by the time you get around it will look quite wavy, but don't worry about it. As we work the blanket, the weight of the rest of your stitches will flatten that out, so don't worry about it. So all the way around your circle, 1 treble crochet, 1 chain into each stitch, slip stitch to join around into the 1, 2, 3, the third chain that we did at the beginning. Just slip stitch through. Now don't worry, like I said, about it looking like that. It will straighten out as we work around and around on the blanket. What we're going to do now is we're going to set corners and turn this round into a square, and we'll be doing that by missing some of the spaces, and we'll be working into some of the spaces. So we're going to chain 5. This is the first loop of one corner, and when we go all the way around we'll make the second loop for this corner. So we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to skip 1 space and do a double crochet into the next space, and that makes a loop. So for 3 times we're going to chain 3, skip a space and do a double crochet. If you're in the USA, this is a single crochet. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to have 3 little loops in between our corners. Skip 1 space and double crochet into the next space. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Skip 1 space and double crochet into the next space. 1 more, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 1 space and double crochet into the next space. So that's kind of making a straight edge. Now we're going to do 1 full corner with these chains of 5. So chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 1 space and double crochet into the next space. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip a space and double crochet into the next space. So that gives you your first full corner, and that's what it's going to look like. So you'll have a corner here with your big loops and your 3 little loops. So now we're going to do 3 little loops again. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip a space and then double crochet into the next space. chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 1 space and double crochet into the next space. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip a space and double crochet into the next space. So we're going into the space, we're not going into the top of the stitch, and that gives you your 3. You've got your 2 big loops and your 3 little loops. So we're going to make another 2 big loops again. So chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, skip a space and double crochet into the next space. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip a space and double crochet into the next one. So that's you got the second corner, and I'll pop it down. So this is what it's looking like. That's one corner, that's your other corner. We've got one loop of this corner done. We'll finish that when we get right around. So now we need to do our 3 little spaces. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip a space and double crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip a space and double crochet into the next space. 1, 2, 3, skip a space and double crochet into the next space. So we're going to do our last, or the third corner. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip a space and do your double crochet. Now if you're in the USA, that's a single crochet. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, skip a space and double crochet into the next space. We're going to do our last set of little loops. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip a space and double crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip a space and double crochet. 1, 2, 3, skip a space and double crochet. Now what we're going to do is, we've already got one set of 5 chains. We need one more to complete that corner. So chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to double crochet into the bottom of this one here, into that last little space that we have. That's that one, miss that one, into that one. And this is what you've got. But don't worry about it all going like this. It doesn't matter, it will straighten out. So we've got our corner areas with your bigger loops and your 3 small loops in between. So now you're going to slip stitch into that chain of 5. Do you remember that first chain of 5 you did? We're going to slip stitch into there, so that we're going to be working from inside that loop. You're going to chain 3. That chain of 3 will count as your first treble crochet, and that's a double crochet if you're in the USA. Now we need 10 treble crochets in this loop of 5. That counts as your first one. So we'll put another 9 into this loop. So with the chain and that one, that makes 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So make sure you have 10. Don't count the chain and you end up with 11. So that chain counts as your first one. Then you put another 9 into that loop. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to double crochet into this chain 3 space. And that's going to pull your little fan down into there. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and double crochet into this chain 3 space. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet into that chain 3 space. We're going to work our way around to that other corner. So we're at our chain 5 spaces. You're going to put 10 treble crochets into that loop there. If you're in the USA, this is a double crochet into that loop. Put 10. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So straight from doing that one, we're going to go into this next chain of 5 and do another 10 double crochets. No chains or anything like that, just do 10 more double crochets. We're going to create this corner. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You're going to go straight into this one. These are the chains of 3 that we did. So you're going to do a double crochet, chain 3, a double crochet, chain 3, and a double crochet. And then into this corner where you've got your 2 sets of 5 chain, you're going to put your 10 treble crochets into this one and 10 into that one. Then you will do a double crochet into this, chain 3, double crochet into this one, chain 3 and double crochet into this one, and then you'll do your last corner. 10 treble crochets, 10 treble crochets, double crochet into this chain here, chain 3, double crochet into this loop, chain 3, double crochet into this loop, and then you'll go straight into there and do your 10 treble crochets to finish that last corner, and you'll slip stitch to the top of here. So into this next chain 3 space, we've got 3 chain 3 spaces, so we're going to go straight in there and do a double crochet. If you're in the USA, that's a single crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet into the next chain space, into the next loop, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and double crochet into that one. As your blankets grow, your chain 3s are getting shorter, because remember we had 3, now we've only got 2. So we're back at the next set of 5 loops, the next corner. So you're just going to copy this one. You're going to put your 10 treble crochets into this one, 10 into that one. You'll do a double crochet straight into this one, chain 3, do a double crochet into this chain space, chain 3, double crochet into this little chain space, and then do your 2 sets of 10 on the corner. Double crochet into there, chain 3, double crochet into there, chain 3, double crochet into there, and then do your last set of 10, and you'll slip stitch to the top of this to create your last corner. So you're doing your corners, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, and then do another corner. So you're going to slip stitch, you're going to join this cluster here to this one here. So just into the third stitch in your chain, 1, 2, 3, push your hook through, pull your yarn through, and slip stitch through that one there, and that's you joined that round. Now it's not looking so wavy now, but if yours is still looking wavy like this, don't worry, it will straighten out. As we pull these two together, it's going to take that furl out of your blanket, and the more rounds you do, that'll be stretched open a little bit and your blanket will be fine. So don't worry about those waves in this part. That's what puts a lot of people off this. They think they're doing it wrong because it's all wavy. It's not. It will come true to itself. So now what you're going to do is we're going to chain 3. That'll count as your first treble crochet. Then you're going to put a treble crochet all the way around this shell. So that'll be 9 that you'll pick up. So you'll be picking up 9. Just count around there. When we get to these two little chains, you're going to double crochet into that chain space, chain 3, double crochet into that space, and then around this corner you'll do 10 and then another 10. So you'll basically be doing 20 treble crochets around that corner. So let's go on with that. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. That counts as your first treble crochet. So go into the top of your next stitch, into the top of your stitch, and do a treble crochet. If you're in the USA, this is a double crochet. So that chain counts as 1 and that's 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now we're at the double crochet from the row before. So into that space, into the space, you're going to do a double crochet. If you're in the USA, that's a single crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now see how it's pulling it together. Into that chain space, do a double crochet. Now from there, we're going to do 20 treble crochets around these two shells. 10 around there and 10 around there. And look how it's pulling my circle into a square. It's going to start pulling it into a square, and it is getting flatter. I've got a little kink here, but that'll disappear once we get around the blanket. So let's go again. We're going to do 10 and then 10 around this corner. Treble crochets. If you're in the USA, it's a double crochet. So 1 into the first stitch. That's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nine and 10. Now we're back to where a double crochet is. So into the chain space, you're going to do a double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. You're going to do a double crochet into that chain space, and then do your 20 treble crochets around your double shell. That's your corner. Then double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, 20 treble crochet. You're going to double crochet into that chain space, chain 3, double crochet into that chain space, and you'll just have 10 to do because you've already done 10 on that corner, and that'll complete that round. So I'll do that, you do yours, and we'll come back when we get around to here. So this is what mine looks like now. Now these will be your corners all the time. These are your corners. Now when you finish the round, you just slip stitch to the third stitch in your chain of 3 that you did. Just going to slip stitch, make sure I catch 2 parts of that stitch. Yarn over, pull it through, and just pull through that stitch, and that's that round complete. Now don't worry, like I'm going to keep saying to you, don't worry if you've got a little bit of a kink. It'll straighten out as your blanket grows. It'll straighten out. So what we're going to do next is this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start doing a treble crochet and a chain 1, treble crochet, chain 1, treble crochet, chain 1. So we're at halfway in this corner for this one. So we're going to do one half of the corner first. Once we get right around, we'll do the other half of the corner. When you get to this chain space, we're going to skip it. We're going to skip over, and we're just doing the corners this time. Skip that chain space and go over to the next corner. We'll be doing this to all the corners. So we're going to chain 3. That counts as your first treble crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to chain 1 more. That's my chain 1. So those 3 counts as your first treble crochet, and that next stitch is my chain 1. So I'm going into the next stitch, just here. So that's has got 2. Chain 1 and into the next stitch do a treble crochet. That's 3. Chain 1. That's 4. Chain 1. 5. Chain 1. 6. Chain 1. 7. Chain 1. 8. Chain 1. 9. Chain 1 and 10. Now don't chain 1 when you get to number 10. You're going straight over the top of that chain and into your first treble crochet that's here. Just do a treble crochet, no chain, just to join these 2 corners together. Now you'll chain 1. So chain 1, so that's your first treble crochet, and do a treble crochet, that's 2, chain 1, treble crochet and chain 1, that's 3. So by the time you go right around here you should have 20. When you do your last one, don't chain 1, just go straight over to the first one on your stitch. Make sure you're not going into the top of that little double crochet there. Go into the stitch. That'll be your first one. Then you do your chain 1 and work your 20 around. When you get to number 20, do not chain 1. Just jump over the chain to your first stitch in your big corner fan. Do your first treble, then do your chain 1, treble crochet, chain 1 and treble crochet. So I'll show you that around this one. So I've got 1, 2, 3. I've done my chain 1. That's 4. Chain 1. So I'm going to skip over here. Don't chain 1. No chain 1. Just go straight in and do your treble crochet. Then do your chain 1 and a treble crochet and chain 1 all the way around your corner, and then you're going to skip over this one just like you did here and work around this one. Skip over this section and do, on this last one you'll have 10, and you'll do your chain 1 and slip stitch to the top, and you'll slip stitch into the third stitch in that chain to finish that round. So go ahead and do that. Just remember, when you've done number 20, don't chain 1. Just go straight over and start number 1, do a treble crochet, then do your chain and your treble crochet, chain 1 all the way around. So this is what we've got now, and as you can see my blanket is getting flatter. So if you're using quite a thin yarn, don't worry if you're still getting the odd little bump. It'll straighten out, it really will. And I'm loving the colour change on this roll of ice yarn. It's beautiful, I really like that. Now what we're going to do is this. Do you remember we did the loops? We did the double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, and then we did our chains of 5. That's what we're going to do all the way around. We're going to create a 5 chain space in between each of these sections, because we'll be putting one of these large shells here on your blanket, and then you'll have your corner. You'll still have your corner will be up here, but we'll have an extra arch in these spaces here. Once we've done this, we will be repeating what we did with the 10 treble crochets, your chain, little chain 3s and your 10 treble crochets. So now we're on repeat rows. We're on repeat rows. Once you get to this stage and we do our 1, 2, 3 or 4 rows to make our arch, that is what you'll repeat again and again and again. And if you need to rewind the video to this stage, rewind it to this stage and then follow along. Do your 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, and then you can rewind the video again until you get the hang of it. These are the 4 rows that we will be repeating again and again for this blanket, and each time you'll put a new arch into these joints here as your blanket gets bigger, like this one. I'll show you my pink one again. Now I took my time with this. You can see here where your 4 arches are. I'll get this one and we'll put it on the top, and you can see it, how it's going to grow. So that's it on there, and you can see how you're going to do a corner, a new arch, a corner, your new arch, all the way around on this. And your blanket, if I can get this straightened out a little bit, I don't have very much space here on this desk. My blanket's turned slightly. So there we are. I've got my blanket out and I'm going to put this one that I'm working on the top. Now don't worry if it's looking kind of frilly. It will straighten because this one certainly did. And I'm just going to overlap that so you can see where we're at with it. Now the next round we're building this round here. These are the 4 rows that will keep repeating. Can you see it there? It's repeated and repeated. Your corners will go up this way. Your arches in between I'll get more. So I've got 1 here, and then we'll have 2 once we do the next row. You'll rebuild your arches in between your square. So this is where we are at the moment, and we're going to put this round on here. These will always be your corners, and you're just going to add more arches in, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. So we'll have our chain row, and then we'll do what we did here with your 10 treble crochets into your chain of 5, and we'll do our little chains to bring it over. We'll be doing that on this one here as well, and working our way around. So I'll take that back off and I'll show you how to do the next round. On this one I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the middle is 12. So I've done 12 all together on mine. You can make it bigger if you want, but I ran out of yarn. I ran out of that pink yarn. I'm always running out of yarn. So that is what we're going to do. I'm going to zoom back in. So don't worry if it's looking kind of frilly. It will flatten down. It will. So the next round, if you're working along with me, these 4 rows are going to be the rows you repeat again and again and again. So I'm going to slip stitch to the 3rd stitch in this chain. Do you remember we did the chain plus 1? So 1, 2, 3, you're going into the 3rd stitch, and you're going to slip stitch and slip stitch through. So what I'm going to tell you next is count your stitches here. Make sure you have 20 going around your arch. Make sure there's 20 on that one going around the outside of the arch, 20 on that one, and 20 on that one. Because if you do this next step and you don't have 20, it won't work. You've got to have your 20 around your big arch on the corner. Now, this row and the next 3 rows are the rows that we will keep repeating to make your blanket the size, the one that I did. Now, these are the 4 rows that you'll repeat again and again and again until your blanket is as big as you want it to be. We're going to do the loop row. Do you remember down here we did the chains of 5 and the chains of 3 to make our arches and our corners? That's what we're going to do all the way around, but we're going to add that extra arch in, a chain space here for the extra arch. You're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the first loop of your corner. We'll do the second chain of 5 when we get right around and back to here. So we're going to skip this space and do a double crochet into the next space. Now we need a chain of 3 done 3 times in between our corners. So we're going to do chain 3, 1, 2, 3. That's 1. Skip a space, double crochet into the next space. Chain 1, 2, 3. Skip a space and double crochet into the next space. That's 2. 1, 2, 3. Skip a space and double crochet into the next space. That's us got our 3. Now we're going to do a bridge over here so we can add another fan in. We're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You're going to skip that space, skip that triangle in there, that joint, and skip that space. So you're going to skip the next 3 spaces, 1, 2 and 3. Double crochet into that next one. So skip 3 spaces, that's that one, that triangle-y one and that one, and double crochet into the next one. And that's you made your bridge to put your new arch in. Now we need to do the 3 chains of 3. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Skip 1 space, double crochet into the next space. 1, 2, 3. Skip a space, double crochet into the next one. That's 2. 1, 2, 3 chain, skip a space and double crochet into the next space. That's 3. So now you're going to chain 5. We're going to make a corner. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Skip a space, double crochet. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Skip a space and a double crochet. Now if you're in the USA, that double crochet is a single crochet. So we've got our 2 chains of 5, that's our corner, our little chains of 3. So we're back to our little chains of 3 again. We need 3 of those. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip a space and do your double crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip a space, double crochet. That's just got 2. 1, 2, 3, skip a space and a double crochet. Now we're going to span this joint again. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you're going to skip that space, skip the triangle and skip that space, and we're going to double crochet into this one. So 1, 2, 3 spaces skip and double crochet. So you've skipped 1, 2 and 3 and gone into the next one. So we're back to our chain 3s. 1, 2, 3. So you do 3 sets in between your arch and your corner. Skip a stitch, double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip a stitch and double crochet into the next space. That's just got 2, 1, 2, 3, skip a space and double crochet. So that's just got our 3 little chains. You go to chain 5 because we're doing the next corner space. We're doing our next 5 loop. We're doing our next chain of 5 loops for our corner. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip a space, double crochet into the next space. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Skip a space, double crochet into the next space. So now we're going to do our little sets of 3 chain over here. And we need 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. Skip a space, double crochet into the next space. 1, 2, 3. Skip, then double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Skip and double crochet. And that's just got our 3 little chains. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to span that gap. Skip that space, skip that triangle in the middle, and skip that space and work into that one with your double crochet. So you've skipped 1, 2, 3 and worked into that one. Now our little sets of 3 again. 3 sets of chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip a space, double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Skip a space, double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Skip a space, double crochet. That's just got our 3. So we're going to do our next corner. We need our 2 sets of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip a space, double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip a space and double crochet. So that's your next corner done. We're nearly around. We're nearly around, but this is where we're going to. We're going to finish round here. So again, chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip, then double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Skip, double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Skip the space and double crochet. Now we're at our last little, we need a little bridge, the last one between our corners. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the next space, skip the triangle, skip the next space and work into that one. A double crochet. So you've skipped 3 spaces. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip a space, double crochet into the next one. 1, 2, 3, skip a space, double crochet. That's just done 2, 1, 2, 3, skip a space, double crochet. So that goes with that one. So we should be doing a chain of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We should have 2 spaces left, so skip a space and double crochet into that space there. And that has completed that round. Now that's the round, that one and the next 3 rounds are the one that you're going to keep repeating all the time. And like I keep saying, don't worry if your blanket is puckering up like that. It will straighten out as it gets bigger and the weight of your blanket will take over and that will be stretched out. So that's what we have now. We've got our new loops for our new arch and we've got our 2 sets of 5 on each corner for the new arch that'll go here. Don't think it's not in the right place, it is. Once it gets its arches in, it'll stretch out like that, and that'll stretch out, and that'll stretch out. So I'm going to show you what to do with the next round. So this is looking absolutely beautiful. Now, if you want a little doily, you can leave that like that if you want to do placemats for your dinner table. And you just leave it like that at that size and then make some more. You could do this first part for a cup, to set a cup on, and you can use these for your plates, and there's lots of uses for doing this type of virus blanket, or with a lot, some people call it German shells, some people it's just giant shells, but it was most commonly known as a virus blanket. Maybe not too apt at this time. So to begin with, I'm going to slip stitch into that chain of 5, and I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. That becomes your first treble crochet. We need to put another 9 into this chain of 5. So the chain is 1, and that's 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need 10 altogether. That's 9 and 10. I'm going to count them just to check. 1, so the chain counts as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're going to double crochet into that chain of 3, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet into your next chain of 3, and chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and double crochet into that chain, that next chain space. So we're shortening the gap between the corner and that fan. So it's 10 treble crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then count them. You need to make sure your stitch count's correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Double crochet into that chain 3 space, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet into the next chain space, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet into the next space, and that takes you to your corner. These are your chain 5s, 10 treble crochet and 10 treble crochet into each of these chains, and then you'll do your little chain 3 part there. Double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. 10 treble crochets into there, and then your double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, and so on all the way around. And I'll get you back when we're up to here. So you do that, pause the video, rewind it if you have to, and then just keep pausing and rewinding and work your way around to here. Where I'm at with this now, I've got grey on, my colour change is going to grey, so that's why it doesn't look quite as big as it is. Now again, I'm going to keep saying this to you, don't worry if your blanket is looking a little bit with a kink. It will come out, as it stretches and grows. Look at, I love this colour change, I love it. I'll show you once again what it is. It's the Ice Yarns, and this one, I think it's called Magic Light, and it's the pink one. It's beautiful. I got that donated to me, by the way, but I'll put a link in the bottom of the video to Ice Yarns, and you can go and have a look. Now, Ice Yarn, it is so cheap. It is so, you can get a ball of wool for like 50p, but you've got to buy it in packs of either 6 or 8. So if it's 8, it makes it £4 for like 8, it could be 800 grams that's in it. The shipping is a little bit more expensive, but the really totally the price of the yarn, and if you're paying that bit more for the shipping, it still comes out as a really cheap place to buy bulk yarn. If you like to buy your yarn in bulk, give that place a try, and I'll put a link in the bottom. And so I've done that round. So we've done our sets of 10, check them, count them, make sure you have 10. So our next round after that was, we put 1 treble crochet into the top of these treble crochets that are here. Chain 3, that becomes your first treble crochet. So that is treble crochet number 1, and you're going into the next stitch. So that's 2. Into the next one, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We'll do the other half of that corner when we get round. So we'll do the other half when we get around. Double crochet into that chain space. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and double crochet into that space. And then you're going to do your 10 treble crochets around that arch, 1 into each stitch, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, and then your 10 around there and 10 around there, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, and work your way around like that. So this is what I've got now. It's it's going through that grey change, and it's not showing up so well on this, but the next round will. So I'm going to slip stitch into my chain of 3, 1, 2, 3, and just do a slip stitch into the top of that to complete that round. Now count and make sure you have your 10 stitches on each of your arches, and you'll have 20 around your corners. And this is what we've got. We're going to do the treble crochet chain 1 round now, and we'll be joining these in. You're going to chain 4, that counts as your first treble crochet and your first chain 1. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're doing this round here, this one. That was your treble crochet and your chain 1. So that counts as your first treble crochet and chain 1. So into the next stitch, treble crochet and chain 1, that's 2, that's 3, chain 1, that's 4, chain 1, 5, chain 1, 6, chain 1, 7, chain 1, 8, chain 1, 9, chain 1, and 10. Now don't chain 1 once you've done your 10th one. You're going to go over here to your first treble crochet on your next arch. Just go straight over and do a treble crochet into the stitch that's right beside, that is your double crochet. Go into that stitch that's right there, or you won't have the proper stitch count. Go into there. So that's your 1. Now chain 1, 2, chain 1, 3, chain 1, 4, chain 1, 5, chain 1, 6, chain 1, 7, chain 1, 8, chain 1, 9, chain 1, and 10. Don't chain 1. We're going to skip this area here, and we're going to do a chain 1 into the stitch right beside the first post of your corner. You've got 20 around here, so we're going to skip this section, yarn over and go into the stitch right beside that treble crochet and do your treble crochet, a chain 1, and as you work around there you should have 20. Now what I want you to do is go back to this one and count them. You've got to have the correct stitch count for when we do all our little chains. We will be going back to that little chain round. Remember the little chains where we done 5s and 3s? That's what our next round will be. So count these: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Count them around this one. We will finish that corner when we get around here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Make sure that's what you've got, because when you do your chain 3s and your chain 5s, you've got to have the right number of spaces in between your blanket, and that's what we're going to do all the way around. That is the 4 rows that you'll keep repeating. You'll repeat your chain round, your 10 crochets, and then crochet into the top of your 10s, and then your treble crochet and chain 1 into the top of that to build up your arches. I'll do the next round with you just so that you can see that you're going to put an extra arch here and you'll put an extra arch here when we get round, and you'll be keeping your corners. So first of all, do your chain 1, your treble crochets all around your blanket, chain 1 and your treble crochet. Is what my little virus blanket is looking like now. It's straightening itself out and it's getting bigger and bigger. Now this next round we're going to be putting bridges across here for new shells or fans, whatever it is you want to call it. We'll be putting our chains of 5 across here to add another one here and here, and add another one here, and the same at the bottom. We'll be putting our chains of 5 to add our new fan in, and it'll make it even bigger as we go around. Now remember, check your stitch count. You've got to have your stitch count right to do the next part. We are back to our chains. We're back to our chain round, and these are the 4 rounds that you will keep repeating on your blanket. So if you need to if you get to this area and you're stuck, rewind it to the chain row and then follow the 4 rows that make up this pattern. You chain round your 10 treble crochets, your treble crochets on the top of those 10s, and then your treble crochet chain 1. If you're in the USA, this is double crochets we're using. We're using double crochets and single crochets. If you're in the UK, it's treble crochets and double crochets that we're using. So what we're going to do is we are going to chain 5 because we're at our corner again. We start with our chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip a space. I'll zoom in a little bit. So you're going to start with your chain of 5, skip 1 space and double crochet into the next space. That's your chain of 5 for this corner. We'll do the other one when we get around. You're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip a space and a double crochet into the next space. 1, 2, 3, skip a space, a double crochet into the next space. That's your second one. We need 3 sets of the chains of 3. 1, 2, 3, skip a space and a double crochet into the next space. Now we're at the gap. We need a bridge. We're going to chain 5 because we're going to be adding a fan in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip that space, skip that triangle and skip that space. So you're skipping 3 spaces, 1, 2 and 3, and you're going to work into the next one, double crochet into the next one. What I want to say to you is, once you've done all your rounds and you're happy with the size of your blanket, this is the round that you finish on. So you'll finish your blanket on this treble crochet and chain 1 space. Once it's as big as you want it, that's the round you stop working at once it's big enough and you're happy with it. So we've done our chain of 5 across our little area, across the little bridge. We're going to do one here as well. So between here and here, we need to do our sets of chain 3. And we need 3 of those. So 1, 2, 3. Skip a space and double crochet into the next space. 1, 2, 3. Skip a space, double crochet. 1, 2, 3. That's our third one. And we're back at this gap. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So you're going to skip the space, skip the triangle and skip a space and go into that there, into that next one, double crochet. Do your set of 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, skip a space, double crochet. 1, 2, 3, skip a space, double crochet. 1, 2, 3, skip a space, double crochet. Now you're at your corner. We're at our corner. Have we got 3? 1, 2, 3. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip a space and double crochet. That's your corner chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip a space and double crochet. And then going around here, we'll do a set of your 3 chains. You'll do 5 to go across here and skip these 3 spaces. do your set of 3 chains, go a set, then chain 5 and go across this space, your set of 3 chains, and you're back at your corner, do your 5 chain of 5 and your other chain of 5, your sets of 3 chains, and go 5 chain across here. And that's what you're going to do all around your blanket. And don't worry, I keep saying don't worry about it going a little bit ruffled. It will straighten out. See, it is straightening out. So you'll do your sets of 3, do your set of 3 chains, 5 chain across, a set of 3 chains, 5 chain across, your set of 3 chain, and then do your 2 5 for your corner, your 2 sets of 5 chains, then do your set of 3 chains, and then 5 chain across here, skipping these 3 spaces. Your set of 3 chains, then chain 5 and go across. Your set of 3 chains, then do your 2 5 chain hoops for your corner all the way around, and those are the 4 rows that you repeat. You'll repeat the 4 row repeat, that's your first row repeat, that chain 1, and then you'll do these 3 with the treble crochets. You'll do your chain 1 again, your chain row, and then repeat those 3 again, and slowly you'll build your blanket up like this. Do this, and it's so pretty. Look at that. So please subscribe to my channel. Just click on that subscribe button there, and if you click on the bell icon, then YouTube will alert you when I put up another tutorial. So until the next time, happy crafting, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.